joined today by Tom Kroll, who is the product evangelist for TaylorMade Golf. Great title, Tom. And we're gonna talk a little bit about the clubs that Justin Rose had in his bag at Marion Golf Club when he won the 2013 U.S. Open on Sunday. First of all, let me give you a quick list of the clubs that he did have in his bag. Starting with the driver, he had a TaylorMade R1 driver with 9.5 degrees of loft and a Matrix OZIK 6M3 black tie shaft. The fairway wood that he had in his bag, which is the club that he used to hit that great chip shot on the 72nd hole from behind the green at Marion, was a TaylorMade RocketBallz Stage 2 Tour HL with 16.5 degrees of loft and a Matrix 7M3 black tie shaft. Now, no hybrid club or rescue club for Justin, but he did have a set of TaylorMade RocketBladez Tour irons, the 3, 4, 5, and 6 in this case, along with the Tour Preferred MB irons, the 7, 8, 9, and a pitching wedge there, and those all had KBS C-Taper shafts in them. Justin's wedges were TaylorMade ATVs. He had a 52, a 56, and a 60-degree wedge, and those were with True Temper Dynamic Gold S400 shafts. He used a putter that's pretty unique, and we'll talk a little bit more about it with Tom here in just a second, a TaylorMade Spider Blade, and Justin had a TaylorMade Lethal golf ball in his bag. So, Tom, thanks for joining me today real quickly. The driver was a key club. It always is in the U.S. Open. And while Marion, the guys sometimes didn't have the ability to hit driver on some of those particularly short holes. Tell me a little bit about the R1 driver that Justin Rose has in his bag and sort of what it is and how it ticks.
Well, the R1 driver that Justin had in his bag was really a special product for us because for this year, it was the first year we introduced a driver to the marketplace with only one loft. It's the most adjustable driver we ever created, and it shipped with only one loft set at 10 degrees. Justin set his at 9.5 degrees, and one of the beauties of the driver is that it can accommodate a multitude of lofts from 8 degrees all the way to 12. So he had his set at 9.5, and he had the sole plate, which is another cool feature of the technology of the R1 driver to set up the face angle of the driver. He had it in the 2 open setting. So set the golf club up with a little bit of an open setting. And then the last technology we have in the R1 driver is the new the adjustable weights that we have. And these shot shape weights give the golfer the ability to define the shot shape of the ball. And he had 2 6-gram weights in there. So kind of a more neutral setup for him. And the tour players mess around with the setup from week to week, and obviously he had it dialed in just right for the U.S. Open. Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes if players are trying to fight a slice, they may end up putting a heavier weight, say a 10-gram weight or something like that, into one particular area. If they're looking to fade the ball, maybe they put it out in a different area. Talk a little bit about what you find most amateurs, if they're fighting a slice, and a lot of amateurs do, what should they do with those shot-shaped weights? Yeah, really the best thing to think of as you're adjusting the weights on the driver is the fact that where the weight goes in the golf club as you're playing it in the playing position, if you put the weight over into the heel, it's going to help you hit a draw. And if you put the weight out onto the toe, it's going to give you a neutral or a fade bias. So most amateur golfers that we know are out there struggling with that slice, set that heavy weight into the heel. It's going to give you a little bit of fix for that slice or fade that you're hitting. And one of the most interesting and really heroic shots that we saw Justin Rose hit was on the 72nd hole 4-iron that he said afterwards in the media center, you know, I wanted to do justice to the shot, and he certainly did that. Now, it did roll through the back of the green, but it put him in such fantastic position. It's a historically significant hole. Everybody remembers Ben Hogan with that posed 1-iron sort of shot from down range. Tell me a little bit about the RocketBladez Tour iron that Justin Rose has in his bag. It's got some pretty unique features to it as well. Yes, it does. And in the RocketBladez Tour iron, first off, it's an absolute beautiful design. The tour players love the golf club in terms of the look, but really the beautiful part about the technology, which gave him help in hitting that shot off the ground, is what we call our speed pocket. And this design really activates the bottom part of the club face. So most golfers that we know out there struggle hitting the golf ball low of the center of the club face. So this new speed pocket really makes the club flexible, gives the golfer speed and forgiveness where they need it most. And boy, he hit a great shot, beautiful high trajectory, just rolled through the back edge of the green. He was able to get that up and down. Now, something interesting, Tom, can you explain to me, because there's actually 2 different types of RocketBladez irons. There's the Tour model, which Justin has in his bag, and then there's a regular one. What's the difference between the RocketBladez Tour versions and then the regular RocketBladez irons? Well, That's funny you should ask. I got this one right here.
There you
The
go.
RocketBladez Tour, and I just went and had a set of the regular RocketBladez irons made up for me because they're a little bit more forgiving. And the RocketBladez Tour is going to be a smaller, more performance-minded design for that player that's looking to hit controlled golf shots, maybe controlled trajectory, maybe hit a little bit more of a shaped golf shot. And then the standard RocketBladez is just engineered for pure speed. The golfer that's out there looking for distance, speed, control, forgiveness. So you got a bigger design. We're putting the weight more around the perimeter, gives the golfer better results, better opportunities for miss hits. They both have that new speed pocket technology, so you can see on the sole of these irons that speed pocket's going to help golfers activate the bottom part of the club face, give them great performing golf shots.
Gotcha. The last club I want to talk to you a little bit about, Tom, is that putter, the TaylorMade Spider Blade putter. Some very interesting weight stories about that putter, also about where you're putting that weight, not just sort of the overall weight, but how it's distributed. Explain a little bit to the people out there who may not be aware of it, what that putter is and sort of how it's designed to behave a little bit differently than most blade putters.
Yeah, so one of the beautiful things about these new products that we have is that we're able to take a look at technologies that really deliver in terms of performance for the golfer that's out there. One of the things that we've known in the Spider franchise is the fact that we can make a putter and give it a very high moment of inertia, which means stability, push the weight far, far away from the center of the club face so that on a miss hit, if you hit it out on the toe or you hit it on the heel, that club face is going to track straight and true, giving you a better result with the putter. Well, the big oversized design of most of the Spider putters, the mallets that we've had out there, those have been a little bit difficult for some of the more conventional players to get used to. So we designed a putter that has all that great technology, high MOI, put those weights in these tungsten weights that you can see here on the heel and toe, push that center of gravity, push the moment of inertia, the weight out as far as you can to give that golfer better results, better performance on miss hits. Now, the other beauty about this golf club is that there is a new counterbalance grip on this golf club. So you're able to take and not only increase the MOI, or the resistance to twisting of the club head, but we increase the overall MOI of the club so that some golfers, and I fit in this category, struggle with maybe trying to balance a anchored putter or maybe have a little bit of a flinch in their stroke. This counterbalance story really helps steady the stroke out, keeps the putter tracking smooth, and delivering better putts for the golfer.
It certainly did for Justin at Marion all weekend. He made a lot of clutch putts coming down the stretch, a great birdie putt that really helped vault him up there on 13. And he showed a lot of guts. He didn't need it on 18, which is always really nice to have that brush in. But, Tom, thanks very much for joining me today and explaining some of the new technology and some of the new clubs that Justin Rose had in his bag at Marion. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Dave.
Cool. And once again, this is David Dusek, senior writer for Golfweek magazine, and we've brought you Inside the Winner's Circle.